Hello and welcome, dental speakers. Thank you for joining me for another episode of Facebook Live, DSI Live. Thank you for being here in our DSI Facebook group. And welcome. Tonight we're going to be speaking about speaker packets and the importance of speaker marketing. Why this topic? Why right now? Because as in many things in life, are cycles, and same would be true with dental meeting planners that are looking for speakers for their meetings. There tends to be some times that are better than others for marketing, and there's never a bad time to market your presentations, but there's certainly some times that are more active than others. And thank you so much for saying hi when you come on in here. Thank you. I see we have a couple of people here already. Thank you for being here. And we're heading into one of those cycles now as we start to wrap up summer vacations. In August, kids will be back to school and people will be back to work for the fall. It is still here in Phoenix, summer, end of July, hot. Pardon my, it's hot enough to sweat crayons on the sidewalk. I took a picture yesterday, one we had seen. But so here we are at the end of summer, and by middle of August, we're going to be seeing many meeting planners reaching out. I think in my almost 20 years of working with dental speakers, what I've noticed is that especially the study clubs or like the smaller organizations tend to pull together like a year at a time of their monthly meetings, that sort of thing. So you'll probably see more study clubs reaching out, more universities, more doctors maybe that are doing referring doctor gift seminars, that sort of thing. Again, never a bad time to market, but we're definitely heading into one of the two times that is most busy. So that would be middle of August, certainly by the 10th through the 15th of August. I always see a rush of people running to the bureau looking for speakers. And that will run through probably around the 1st of October. It'll be the busiest. And then it kind of starts winding down. It'll be a little slower until after the new year, right around the time of our Jumpstart conference. So by the 10th to the 15th of January, we have the same situation, just different day. Same that channel whole bit. It just gets real busy again, mid-January through 1st of March to middle of March. And then again, it kind of winds down a little bit into summer. And I would love to hear if any of you have seen that or experienced that. And please feel free to write that in the comments. And thanks again for being here. Looks like we have a good group joining us tonight. Now, before I jump full force into talking about speaker packets, there are a couple of announcements and things I want to make sure you know about. Tomorrow is the deadline for the Trapped in an Op Gold Digger Professional Development Scholarship for Jumpstart. So what that means is that over on Elijah Desmond's Facebook group, and I know many of our members are also members of Trapped in an Op, be sure you are a member. It's a great, positive, wonderful, super busy group, but with lots of good information and some really great people over there. We're offering one scholarship for full tuition to our Jumpstart conference, which will be held in January here in Phoenix, which we'll talk a little bit more about later. But the deadline is tomorrow. So let me just see if I can figure out how to share my screen. I wanted to show you. Two places you can find about this. Let me just see. I'm working out my Be Live here. Here we go. I'm using BeLive.tv, so it's a little different than the Facebook Live. So I have brought you here into Dental Speaker Institute's group. And if you just scroll down a little bit, for me, it's right below the announcement. But look for this graphic if you're interested in applying for that scholarship. And then just click on the graphic and all the details are there. It will tell you what you need to do there. You'll need to answer a couple of questions and get those sent in to me by tomorrow if you want to have your name in the drawing. That will be next Monday, which is the 5th of August, and that will happen in Trapped in the Op group. Now, if you're over on Trapped in an Op, Elijah did pin a little session that we did. Let me see if it can catch up. Oh, good. Awesome. Under the announcements and Trapped in an Op. So both places you can find out a little more information about that, or feel free to just shoot out an email to me, info@thedentalspeaker.com. That's a $2,100 value. And that's why I wanted to make sure you guys didn't miss this opportunity to have your name in the hat. Somebody's going to win that. I'm super excited. So next thing I wanted to share with you and I don't think you can see me, and that's okay. I'm just going to share my screen for a minute. I also wanted to make sure that you know about our Salt Lake City Business Retreat. Now, if you come over to thedentalspeaker.com, the Dental Speaker, and this is on our, oops, I'm in the wrong one. If you go to, you can just say / Salt Lake City SLC, or if you just come under seminars to Salt Lake City Seminar, it'll bring you to this page, and all the details are here. This is a complimentary business retreat. Let me show you, I'm going to scroll to the bottom real quick. And I am going to be doing this seminar with two amazing consultants and coaches. Vicki Peterson, we all know, Productive Dentist Academy. She is co-founder and CEO. And Vicki's going to be sharing different consulting models and answering questions for those of you who want to grow your consulting business. I'll be focusing on the speaking side. And then Manal, of course, we all know Manal is an amazing marketing guru, and she's going to help answer our questions around marketing. Now, this is happening in Salt Lake just prior to Dental Intel Summit. A lot of us are going to be there late in September. I think it's the 23rd when that starts on a Monday. So we have positioned this on Saturday just prior in Salt Lake City. If you are interested in coming, again, it's no cost, no selling, no kidding. And all the details are here on this page. This was, again, the Dental Speaker. Hey, thanks so much for your comments, guys. I'm seeing it pop up here in the bottom of my screen. So this is limited to 40 people. We're asking for you to send us an email with an answer to some questions. And I'm just going to come back where I can see you now. But let me show you. We've got the schedule of events. It tells you what to do to reserve your seat and when it is and where it is and all that. So let me come back to you for just a minute. What we're wanting to do is create a really unique, specialized experience for you. So you submit an email to us and answer those couple of questions, and then we will send back to you, your acceptance email, which will link over to a survey. Our full day of content will be taken from our attendees' answers to those survey questions. So it's really important, but ultimately completely customized. It's really a 24-hour period of networking and education. We'll start the night before at the Embassy Suites there near the airport in Salt Lake City with get to know you social. And then we'll have our full day on Saturday, and that night we're also going to head out to dinner together. So if you're interested in joining us in Salt Lake City, that's September 21st. And all the information is there on thedentalspeaker.com under seminars. Pull down the Salt Lake City retreat, or shoot me an email, info@thedentalspeaker. I'd be happy to help you. Also, want to make sure you are aware of Jumpstart 2020. We are about 2/3 of the way to being sold out. This conference is going to be held January 9 through 11 here in Phoenix. It's our 3rd year. This year is so much bigger and more wonderful than last year, which I think is kind of hard to believe because it was pretty awesome last year. And we will have breakout sessions, a total of 20 breakouts over those 3 days. So you'll be making some choices. What session do you want to go attend? It's more like NSA. If some of you have been to the National Speakers Association, I know a lot of you have been there the last couple of days, but it's that same idea where we'll have some main stage time with our keynoters, but we'll also be heading to breakout sessions, and you can decide what you'd like to learn over those couple of days. So be sure you don't delay, because this opportunity will sell out, and I hate for you to miss it. So to register, it's jumpstart2020.com. Use early bird discount code, the word early bird, all one word, early bird, and you'll save $300 off of the registration. So one more announcement. Tomorrow night, right back here on the Facebook Live group here at Dental Speaker Institute. Let me say that again. Tomorrow night, right back here on DSI's Facebook group, I'm going to be holding a Facebook Live session with Academy of Dental Management Consultants, ADMC, our Vice President and President. So President Laura Jameson and Vice President Roy Shelburne will be here to share with you what ADMC is and how it, as a consultant, it can really help you with growing your business, with camaraderie, with education, there's so many wonderful benefits of belonging to ADMC. We're about a little over a month out from our annual session, which is just prior to ADA. So if you're going to be in San Francisco for the ADA meeting, be sure you tune in tomorrow to learn more about ADMC and see if you'd like to come as a guest, or even better, if you're interested in becoming a member. So that will be tomorrow right back here again at 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 West Coast. Of course, it will be recorded if you're working then or not able to attend. Just be sure that you tune in to find out more about Academy of Dental Management Consultants. Speaking and consulting dovetail, right? I mean, they're really tied. Speaking really is a marketing activity for consulting. So I know that a lot of you are also consultants. We really focus on the speaking here, but I want to really help bring you as much value as we can. And so I'm super excited that Laura and Roy are going to be here to be able to answer your questions and to be able to tell you more about that organization. Okay, and one more quick thought as we dive in. A lot of what I'm going to share with you tonight is in my book, which is available on Amazon, but between you and me, just like the however many of us there are, I don't care if I ever sell one. I really pulled it together to share it. So it is available on Amazon if you'd like a print copy, but I will email you a copy of this book if you just shoot me an email at info@thedentalspeaker.com. I've got that up here. And if you'll shoot an email to me that says ebook in the subject line, I'd be happy to send you I've got a copy that's an EPUB that you have to have an app for, and then also a PDF, but I'd be happy to share it. And I wanted to say that up front because a lot of what we talked about between you and me, you like that, huh? I just saw that pop up. Just me and you, and like, I don't know how many there's going to see this, a couple hundred people. But anyway, I would love to be able to share that with you because there's much more in there than we can really cover tonight. So just wanted to make sure you have that. Let me see if I can get rid of my little info at, there we go. I'm learning Be Live. We have a new version that kind of sprung on me tonight. Okay, so speaker packets. What the heck is a speaker packet, right? Or you've seen a speaker packet and you don't have one. Or you have one and maybe you're not loving it. Or maybe you have one and you love it, but it's time to change it. It's all of the above is valid. And when we talk about speaker packet, we're really jumping into a middle of a stream of important concepts as far as building your business and marketing. So that's really a step 3 speaker packet. Let me just remind you step 1 and 2. Step 1, we've talked about before through Facebook Live, and that's really getting clear about your business. Getting clear about your life vision, making sure as you build this business that you know where you want to go so that you don't just end up somewhere, but you end up where you want to be. So I'm not going to belabor that. It's in the book. We have some other recordings about step 1 and step 2 that you can go back and listen to on our blog at dentalspeakerinstitute.com. Okay, so on the blog, dentalspeakerinstitute.com. I'm pretty sure I have them on thedentalspeaker.com too. Step 2 is having a business strategy or a plan in place, a strategy or a plan. This is not like you write out a business strategy to take to the bank for a loan and then put it on a shelf kind of a strategy. This is more of a working strategy, like really thinking about how am I going to make money in this business? Well, I think all of you that are here have an interest in speaking, we would assume, and many of you probably consulting. And so if we were to think about your business strategy, we probably have speaking and consulting as 2 different profit centers. 2 different areas where you would have clients and earn money. You might also have products, and there's a wide other range of profit centers you could have in your business. Now, why do I tell you this? I mean, you've heard me talk about this before. Well, because it's really super important when we get over here to step 3. So when we're in step 3 and we're wanting to think about, okay, I want to speak, because I know speaking is a marketing activity and I love to speak and I want to give back. And I think that maybe I'll get some clients by speaking. And I know I need to put together my courses and my bio and, like whatever else needs to be in there, which we're going to talk about. But what do I speak about? I've been doing this for, almost 20 years, helping speakers and consultants grow their businesses and building speaker packets for many, many years. And I've talked to hundreds of speakers, and there are certain conversations I hear over and over. Like, for instance, the newer speaker a lot of times feels, and I would tell you that I had the same thoughts as I was starting out, that I want to have more course offerings so that they have something to choose from, right? Like, I don't know what the meeting planners are really hiring, but I could talk about this and this and this and this. That's one model. Or it's a speaker who's been speaking a long time and who has created multiple courses along the way. They really wanted to speak at that meeting, and they asked him to speak about something that was kind of off topic that they wouldn't normally talk about. So they created a course for it, and then that course went in their packet. That speaker might have 12, 15, even closer to 20 courses I've seen. I've even seen as many as 40 pages in a speaker packet, which is just nutty. That's just too much. Nobody's going to read that. So what I would like you to think about is, when you look back at step 2, this business strategy that is supporting that life, step 1, that life vision, in that business strategy, what are you trying to sell? And then speak on topics that are going to help attract potential clients for that. So even though you could talk about CBD oil and it's kind of like a new hot thing, does it really help you sell, case acceptance consulting? You see what I mean? Like, you could do a phone skills presentation, but if you don't consult on phone skills, or you don't have products around phone skills, it just doesn't make sense to me to create a course, to market a course, to get out there and speak on a course, to get out in front of the audience and they see you as a thought leader and an influencer in this area, and they want more, but you don't have anything to give them. Instead, let's focus in that packet on topics that are going to help feed your profit centers. Okay. I anticipate we're probably on the same page about this. If you have questions on that, let me know. And I'll throw this out now. On any of this, if you want to circle back around with me, I am here to help. info@thedentalspeaker.com. Just put consultation in the, just making this up as I go, right? Complimentary consultation in the subject line, and then I'll be happy to shoot you a link to my calendar. I'll be happy to answer your questions. All right, so I'm just seeing it suddenly stopped with no more sound. So are you guys hearing me? Let me take a look here. Now, let me just see if mine has sound, hopefully. Oh yeah, I can hear sound on mine, so it might be your end. So I think we're okay. Hopefully we're okay. If anybody else is having technical difficulties, please put it in the comments and I'll be able to see it here in front of me. Okay, so that helps us get started with what are we going to speak about? Well, it needs to be a topic that you're passionate about, something that's going to help your business grow, something that you're truly an expert in. I caution speakers that there are certain topics that are hot and new right now. Thank you for letting me know you're hearing me fine. Thank you. So you might see something happening in the news and think, I think I'm going to create a presentation around that. I just want to caution you to make sure, because you guys know that anyone who's been speaking for a while, it takes a lot of time to create a presentation, to market it, to get it out there. It's not an overnight thing. And if you really want to be seen as an influencer and a thought leader, a key opinion leader, it needs to be something that you've got some experience with. So enough about that. But I just wanted to make sure we started there with what would we speak about? Now, let's talk about what's actually in the speaker packet. What are the documents in the packet? Now I'm going to, let me walk it through with you first, and then I'll show you an example. And there are a lot of examples of these. If you want to head on over and surf at our thedentalspeaker.com website, thedentalspeaker.com, and then in the middle of the menu, look for the word portfolio, and that portfolio has a couple dozen speaker packet examples and a dozen or more website examples. But take a look at those comments. Thank you for the comments out here, and thank you so much for being here. But go ahead and take a look at those examples, and you'll see there's a wide range of ways to create your speaker packet, but there are some common elements. And really, when I help someone create a speaker packet, we always start with courses. We start thinking about what are the course descriptions. We've talked a little bit about that, but I want to encourage you to look at your current course offerings, or if you're just starting, think about what you may want to speak about, and then start deciding how many courses do I have. Now, this is something that's not super easy always for people to talk through. And again, I'd be happy to talk through it with you. If you already have multiple courses, let's say you're one of the people who has 10 courses. But when you sit back and you really pull back away from it emotionally, because we get attached to what we've created, right? But when we pull back away from it, just look at it logically. If 5 or 6 of those really relate to systems in the practice, there's a good chance you can combine that into one course description. Remembering that your course description does not reflect your PowerPoint, okay? And you could have multiple versions of how you present that systems course. You don't need to have 5 or 6 pages that talk about things that would all fall in that systems bucket. And that's really where you want to start, is thinking about, do I have overlap? When I look at these courses, do I repeat much? Do I repeat much between this course and this course? Is there much overlap? Maybe I could combine the marketing piece of this. If I like to use the analogy of buckets. If you picture those big, like 20-gallon white painter's buckets, picture a bucket that's completely clear. There's no, white. There's nothing on it. And then in your mind, slap a label on it. Like in this example, we might put in their practice systems. Or from our other examples, we might put in like phone skills, which could be a system. We might put dental implants or OSHA across the front of that bucket mentally. Okay. Now, if you were going to keep your phone skills course in a separate bucket, there needs to be a good reason. In other words, if those are 2 separate course descriptions, when it could fall under the systems course, because phone skills would be off a system, there needs to be a reason that is separate. And that's probably something like you have a product you want to sell there, or you have very specific phone skills training you want to sell there. Or like our colleague, Catherine Eitel-Belt, you may have like a mystery shopper call. In other words, Catherine, my friend, I love you. I hope you don't mind me picking on you. Catherine's where I got started years ago, and so I know her materials pretty well. But Catherine could just have a systems course, but it would make sense for her to have a phone skills course because she has multiple other offerings. And so look at your offerings and decide, what makes the most sense? Do I keep these as these multiple courses, or should I maybe do some condensing? Happy to talk it through with you. It would only take a few minutes. Happy to help you with that. Now, if you're just starting out as a speaker and you have some ideas on what you might want to speak about, but you haven't actually been booked yet, or you haven't done very many, I want to encourage you, in fact, for everybody, but especially this newer speaker, I want to encourage you that less is more. What we want is for the meeting planner to see you as an expert in a certain area. And the more diverse your topics become, where they don't feel connected, it actually works against you. So I love to see someone starting with 1, maybe 2 courses that are really distinctly different, but yet kind of connected, where you could see like, oh, that person might talk on OSHA and infection control, that sort of a thing. So that I share with you to help you decide, like, well, how many courses do I have? How many course descriptions am I creating? In your speaker packet, you'll want to have a full page course description for each course. So let's say we've decided that there are 2 courses in this packet, or 3. That's a good number. And each of them are going to have an individual separate page. And they'll each have your contact information on there, a photo of you. You'll see those examples at the dental speaker under the portfolio. They all have a picture of the speaker, how to reach the speaker, all the contact information. They will each have a photo that somehow relates to that topic. Now, sometimes it's hard to find a photo that's like really specific. It's easier to find something for maybe TMJ, like you get a stock photo of somebody, versus communications. Without, you can always go abstract or conceptual images, but you want to have a photo that when the meeting planner goes through your packet, like on the online most likely, but as they're turning those pages and they see a graphic that connects to that topic, you want them to remember, like, oh, like I've seen this before, like with the TMJ, like it's something that helps us kind of lock in, oh, he's the one that had the presentation on. It's a visual trigger for them. You'll want to have a catchy title, not necessarily funny, but something that makes an eyebrow raiser is good, something that makes them go, oh, or, that just somehow can grab and stay with them. It's not vanilla. You'll want to have a couple paragraphs of a course description, not a ton of words. Look at those examples again. But you'll want to have a couple of paragraph descriptions, and I'm going to talk to you more about what to put in that top section of the course description. And you'll also want learning objectives, and I'm going to talk to you more about what those need to look like as well. So picture this in your mind. I'm going to show you an example. In fact, now's probably a good time for me to do this. So let me come back to share. Okay, so here I'm at the dentalspeaker.com. I'm at the portfolio page. And when you scroll down in here, well, we'll just choose Nicole. Nicole's our first example here. So under the website example, you see in red, view speaker packet. These all have those. Okay. So Nicole has a really attractive cover. We personally really like the photos where it's the whole page is the photo. It's a nice design element that nobody else is going to have a cover that looks like Nicole's. So we see Nicole's cover, and then we go into page 2, which is what I call a summary page. Now, this tells us that this page, by the way, could stand alone. She could just take this page and print it and put it at the back of a room, to use as like a flyer. Basically, it has a little bit about her presentations, and that shows these are each of the 3 courses she speaks on. Notice her pictures here. Periodontal endoscopy. We have laser. And then this one's a little more abstract or concept type photo. And this is more about protocol. So it's like solutions for the modern dental practice. Now that's page 2. When I come into page 3, notice I'm going to go to this first course, Blueprint for Success. Now I'm going to go into my 1-page descriptions for each course. So here we have a picture of our speaker at the bottom. We have her contact information. We have our learning objectives, the photo, the title, all the things we were just talking about. And not a ton of words are in that course description. That's nice. It's not too much, not too heavy to read. And as you go down through the example, you'll notice that the same thing for each of these course descriptions. And we'll head to her 3rd. And then we end up on a bio page. Now, one thing that I see speakers do a lot of times is that they will, let me come back here where I can look at you for a minute, like for emphasis. I think this is really important, and I see people create their own speaker packets, and the first thing it is they'll say, engaging, and you know what, honest to God, I think we're about to have a dust storm here in Phoenix that I might literally have to go help my husband, because many of you know we're in cat rescue, and I think we're having a haboob. Look it up, Haboob. And we're about to have a wild dust storm. So if I cut and run, I'll be back. We're in cat rescue in our backyard when we have these situations. He needs a little help. So sorry, commercial break there. So what I had wanted to mention is that one of the errors, I think a critical error, is that we make it about us. And so as we create our first speaker packet, we start with, would you like to hire an engaging, educational, experienced speaker? It's like that alliteration of the E's. And I don't mean to offend anyone if this is what you've said. I've just seen it. Probably a lot of people have used that, actually. I've seen it a lot. And then we talk about us as a presenter and a picture of us presenting. And it's just all about you. And what works better is when we make it all about them. And I'm going to show you some tips for how to do that. But I think one thing that's really important is don't lead with your bio. Want to really encourage you to keep your bio after your course description. So let's go back to our example. All right, so we went through Nicole's cover, her summary page, which showed all 3 courses, and then she had 3 course descriptions, and now we end up at a bio, which gives us a little bit of information. It's not everything she could put in there, but it's enough for the meeting planner. Talk a little bit about some of her past presentations, some of her memberships, and then we go on into a testimonial page. Testimonials last. You could sprinkle your testimonials throughout, certainly, but feel free to browse through those examples. And Nicole Fortune, thank you so much for allowing us to share your example, your speaker packet on the website. And she has no idea that I was going to share this tonight. I didn't know till I just shared it. But this is a great example, I think, of a really well-designed speaker packet. It looks really professional and serves her well in that it makes it really obvious there's 3 topics. They're different, but they're tied. You know, there's nothing out in left field. And it really showcases her as someone, you don't know how long she's been speaking. I mean, Nicole could be someone who's been speaking less than a year, or she could be speaking for 20 years. But it makes it feel like she's been speaking for a long time. And that's what you want, is something that really makes it feel like you're a professional. All right, so those are basically the elements of the speaker packet. Those are the main pages. Okay, so we had bio at the end, past presentations, testimonials. Now, I promised you that I would share with you a little bit, some tips around the writing of that course description. And it's pretty simple sounding. But there's 3 things that you want to remember whenever you write a course description or a web page or an article or anything you want someone to read. I always encourage people to think about first. And those of you who've worked with me, you could chime in and you could probably type these out faster than I'll get through them. Because you hear me, I've been saying the same thing for years. It really starts with talking about the pain, problem, or challenge. So this goes back to why we don't put our bio right up front. Why we instead talk about what would keep your attendee up at night. We want to be able to grab the reader by them saying, oh, that's the topic I'm looking for. I would share with you kind of as a side note here. In the years I've been working with meeting planners and like I've had the directory dental speakers and then the bureau, occasionally they'll come to me looking for a specific speaker. But almost always they're looking for a topic or they're saying, what do you have that's new? So I think this, I share that with you because I think this leans into that idea that what planners are looking for is, you know, case acceptance or OSHA or dental implants or like those certain topics. So let's lead with what that pain, problem, or challenge is, and then show in those paragraphs that follow how you resolve that challenge. What is it that you do in this course exactly to resolve that challenge? And the third thing, so that's pain, problem, challenge. Number 2 is how do you resolve it? And the third thing, why you? How do you differentiate? Do you have a certain experience or schooling or certification, or what is it about you that makes you qualified to speak about CBD oil? You know, what makes you the expert in methamphetamine abuse and dental patients and communication around that? You want to have at least a little something in your course description, maybe a sentence that shows you as the expert and why they would want to hire you to speak on this topic. Now, you can put much more about how you differentiate in your bio for sure, and that's a really good place to elaborate more. But in the course description, be sure you include that. That's the top part of the course description, those paragraphs. Now, our learning objectives at the bottom always have learning objectives, always have the paragraph form. The meeting planner will take that paragraph form and will use that in their marketing a lot of times. The learning objectives are how they're going to measure the level of learning to be able to apply CE credits. So in order to help the planner with this, it's really important that your learning objectives be measurable. So we want to be able to measure whether we're going to illuminate a concept or master it. You know, you see the difference there. So that comes down to action verbs and measurable verbs. So I do have a list of verbs I'd be happy to share with you. I'll show you. I can bring it up here. It's one that I've created and used with our clients over the years. If you'd like a copy of this, The yellow ones are ones that I tend to use a lot. And you can see if we were going to identify a concept versus maybe, understand, evaluate, explore, complete, assess, these are all different levels of learning, right? And so I'd be happy to share my list with you. Just shoot off an email to me, info@thedentalspeaker.com, and then just put verbs in the subject line, and I'd be happy to share a copy of that with you. Your learning objectives are basically a reiteration of what you put at the top, but not the same, not worded the same. It needs to be, we're still talking about what you cover in the course, and you're going to talk about that up at the top. But again, take a look at those examples. I think you'll get a feel for how much duplication there is. It's not really, they don't read the same, but we're basically talking about the same thing. So that's the speaker packet in a nutshell. Those are the pages. Those are some tips on how to write your own course descriptions. Certainly, you could create your own, or you could outsource it. I just wanted to share with you before we're done. So now what? Once you create the speaker packet, which is really your foundational marketing material as a speaker, that's the place you want to start and think all this out. Once you have that done, then you can get it on your website. You'll either create a website or you'll have a website already that you're going to want to be sure and add that and make sure you have the right elements on that speaking page on your website. You could look at, I think there are about 15 examples on that same portfolio, and everyone has a speaking or meeting planner type page on their website. You'll find that most often when a meeting planner has been referred to you or they've heard you speak, they will go to your site to learn more about you. So make sure that you have your speaker information, your speaker packet information on your site. Take a look again at those options, because it will help you know like how it should be laid out and what other information should be there. Not only would it go on your website, but it would also go to directories like Dental Speakers Bureau, Dental Speaker Institute, where we have 100 speakers on each of those listed, and your speaker packet could be there as well. You can, so some ways that you can get help with creating your speaker packet and getting started would be to look at examples of what other people have done, and not to copy, never to copy, but to get some ideas on I kind of like how, that picture was, multi-dimensional, or get some ideas on what feels good to you, and then create your own unique packet. Again, visiting those directories to see that there's a couple hundred speakers just through our Dental Speakers Bureau and Dental Speaker Institute that all have websites and would have speaker packets. So check out those websites. Learn about your colleagues. What are they doing? Again, never to copy, but you're going to find that you're going to make alliances. You're going to collaborate. You're going to have people that you might want to mastermind with, and you don't know until you start reaching out to see who's out there. At least once a week, I'll hear someone tell me, I'm going to speak on this topic and no one's speaking on it. And I know that there are, but they haven't done the homework. They haven't really researched it online, and it would be really smart for you to research and just see what's out there so that you don't sound like an annoying echo. We want you to sound like someone with a really current and contemporary and new approach. And one other thing I kind of skimmed over was, mastermind. If you have colleagues that are same place as you, you're all starting out, or you all have so much experience, or you all, for some reason, you have a connection. Mastermind is a great place to talk about some of these concepts and share what are you each doing around your marketing, and get some ideas around that, and take a look at what each other's doing. So let's see, I kind of jumped around here. Oh, once you get done with your website and your speaker packet, then you have a pretty passive marketing campaign created, right? Because your speaker packet's in your computer and your website is out there, but you have to drive traffic to it. So I always suggest that down the road, so speaker packet, then get it on your site. Then the step 3 in this marketing campaign would be either email or print campaigning, maybe postcards. I wish I would have thought to grab a postcard over here with me. But for the Bureau, we send out quarterly, we send out a little postcard that drives traffic back to Dental Speakers Bureau to look for speakers. And similarly, you could create your own little postcard. We do have contact lists available through the dentalspeaker.com with about 1,000 meeting planners that you could shoot out a mail. Not a lot of people are mailing meeting planners. That pendulum swung, and now pretty much everybody's emailing meeting planners because it's really cheap and easy. And if they don't see it, that's not a big deal. But if they do see it, that's awesome. Meaning that, like, when you email 1,000 planners, you might get 150 to 200 that open, but you only really need a handful to click, 4 or 5 to click for you to follow up with. And I'd be happy to talk to you about email campaigning. That's a whole nother subject. But email and print would be a way for you to take your speaker packet and your website to a more active platform. Happy to chat with you guys if you have any questions on that, like what your next step should be. If you'd like to review what you have been doing with your speaker marketing, we'd be happy to share ideas and give you feedback. I think I've pretty much covered everything. I've taken a look a little bit here as they go by. I don't really see questions in our comments. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate all of you being here. It looks like we've got some fun comments, and thank you guys so much for participating tonight. I want to leave you with a thought. Years ago, Jeff and I, when we had our first home, and I mean that was 30 some years ago, had a garbage disposal go out. And we were young, and it was exciting to have our first home. We thought, well, we're going to go change that garbage disposal. Well, not kidding you, like 5 or 6 hours later, and I mean, how hard can it be, right? Well, we're just not the most mechanically inclined. And it was just much better to call a plumber. The same reason that you're a coach, same reason you're an expert in a certain area. It just makes more sense for me to work with a coach who can help me with areas that I don't deal with every day. And it's the same reason I call a plumber. I would just love to put that offer out there to you that you certainly can do this yourself. If you'd like me to review and give you any input on it, happy to do that. If you feel like, oh, Vanessa, for crying out loud, that just sounds like too much work. I'd be happy to look at, if you'd like to outsource it, we'd be happy to help you with it. We are always working on a couple dozen speaker packets at a time. We worked with hundreds of your colleagues. So we'd be happy to answer any questions and help you save time, money, and frustration in the long run. So again, shoot out an email to me, info@thedentalspeaker.com. If you'd like me to review your speaker packet, I'd be happy to. Just put in the subject line, speaker packet review, and I'll shoot you a link to my calendar and we'll take a look. Of course, you'll need to send me your packet as well. And then we'd hop on screen share, and I'd be happy to look at it with you. If you'd like a copy of the ebook, so you think you want to speak in dentistry, shoot off an email, info@thedentalspeaker.com, and I'll shoot over that email to you. If you need anything, just let me know. I'm here, happy to help. Appreciate you guys all joining in tonight. Let me know what you'd like to hear. We're here to help you. Dental Speaker Institute, we're here to help you with all things dental speaker. So if there's a topic or a guest or something you'd like to hear about, again, email info@thedentalspeaker.com. Just let me know what you're thinking, and I'll do my best to bring it to you. I'm wanting to do something about weekly on this channel to be able to bring you guys ongoing education, and would love to hear what your questions are and how we can help you. So until next time, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight, and I'll actually see you tomorrow when we're here with ADMC, Laura Jameson and Roy Shelburne. ADMC President and Vice President will share more about ADMC and why it matters to you. I've been a member of ADMC for many years. It's a fabulous organization, and I'm really super excited to be able to share them with you. So until then, have a great night and talk to you soon. Bye.